Esteemed colleagues, it is my privilege and honor to sponsor for the consideration of this August Chamber House Bill number 14 entitled an Act requiring the registration of subscriber identity module cards, otherwise known as the SIM Card Registration Act.
Magandang hapon, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask the sponsor of this bill on mandatory SIM card registration kung meron ba tayong masasite na experience sa ibang bansa, given na nabanggit na majority ng mga bansa sa mundo ay merong mandatory SIM card registration. Are there positive experiences kung saan natigil nila or significantly ay napababa yung crime rates with the use of mandatory SIM card registration?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, crimes are not only perpetuated using SIM cards, no? What we are concentrating here are crimes being perpetuated using SIM cards, no? So as to the question whether the crime rate in a certain country or the crime rate in the 157 countries where SIM card registration has been a law went down or not, would not reflect the effectivity of the SIM card registration or not, no? I think what we should focus here, Mr. Speaker, is that yung daily experience lang ng bawat isa sa atin dito, no? Daily experience ng bawat isa sa atin dito, siguro mas madami pa yung nakukuha nating mga text messages na phishing o smishing kaysa doon sa mga text messages ng kakilala nating mga tao, no? And makikita natin doon sa mga text messages na yun, kadalasan iniengganyo tayo na buksan ng isang link or minsan iniengganyo tayong mangutang o kung ano-ano man. The problem is, hindi natin alam kung sino ang pinanggagalingan nitong mga text messages na ito.
We are now facing an alarming proliferation of text scams and frauds through the use of SMS messaging. They take various forms ranging from ridiculous winnings in raffles, which we have never participated in, to dangerous but fake warnings about problems with our bank accounts. Furthermore, in recent time, this trend has evolved into including our full names pertaining to an entirely new breach of our privacy vis-a-vis a serious leakage of our sensitive information intended to be private. With the responsible government agencies appearing to be helpless about these issues, we must find an appropriate solution. Mr. Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, we propose to deal with this challenge through this measure, the SIM Card Registration Act.
Mr. Speaker, kaisa ako ng ating sponsor na dapat ngang pigilan natin yung pagkalat nung mga text messages na nanilin lang, gusto lamang i-take advantage yung ating mga kababayan. Kahit nga ako ay nakakatanggap din ng ganong text messages.
So napakahalaga po na malaman kung sino ang pinanggagalingan ng mga text messages na to para malaman kung lehitimo itong mga mensaheng ito o hindi. Hindi naman natin pwedeng iwasan na makatanggap ng text messages. For example, pag bumili po tayo online, di ba po minsan nagpapadala ng one-time password? Di ba po? Pag hindi po natin pinigilan o hindi po nagkaroon ng SIM card registration, sa dami po ng transaksyon na ginagawa natin sa cellphone, hindi mo na malalaman kung alin dito yung totoo o hindi. So ito pong pagrehistro ng SIM card ay protection po sa lahat ng mga consumers. Lalo na po sa ating mga maliliit na kababayan na madalas po nabibiktima nitong mga scam na to. Dahil kadalasan ang sinasabi, pwede kang mangutang ng walang collateral. So siyempre, i-click nila yung link na yun. No? So ito po ang layunin nitong text na ito. At wala pong datos na nagpapakita dahil ang crime nga, sinasabi ko, iba't ibang paraan. So hindi ito directly correlated sa crime rate dahil ito po ay isang portion lang ng kung paano nangyayari ang krimen sa isang bansa.
The bill seeks to require ownership registration of subscriber identity module SIM cards to eradicate mobile phone-aided scams. Quite simply, under this bill, we would be requiring that for every purchase of a SIM card, the end user or subscriber would provide his personal information, which includes his or her full name, date of birth, gender, his or her address, the assigned cell phone number of the SIM card and its serial number. This representation understands that through this process, more questions of privacy might arise, but in this bill contains safeguards, specifically in the confidentiality provision that would create a safe environment for registration to take place. Notwithstanding the confidentiality provision, however, and the provisions of the Data Privacy Act, this measure provides that the public telecommunications entity shall be required to disclose the full name and address contained in the SIM card registration upon a duly issued subpoena or order of a court, upon finding of probable cause, or upon written request from a law enforcement agency in relation to an ongoing investigation that a particular number is used in the commission of a crime or that it was used as a means to commit an unlawful act. Mr. Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, these text scams have basically shaken or practically eroded our trust and confidence in electronic commerce and digital transactions. Regulating the purchase or sale of SIM cards, among other things, will put at rest the worries of our people that their information is being arbitrarily and maliciously shared with certain parties without approval. Esteemed colleagues, we are aware that there would always be new forms of digital crimes and fraud. The world of technology is a constantly evolving landscape, and we public servants must evolve with it. It is only through this dynamism that I'm sure this august chamber hopes to possess can we provide the relevant legislation to tackle such issues. We must highlight, however, that this act is not going to be a silver bullet against the ongoing scams that have proliferated in the last few months. However, this representation is confident that this will serve as a deterrent against unscrupulous people victimizing our fellow countrymen. The war against malicious forms of technology will be fought one battle at a time, and step by step, we shall emerge victorious. We shall win it because we, in the government, have the resolve and the political and moral responsibility as guardians of the people's welfare. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.